I'm Etienne Mellor, owner of Royal LePage Heritage in Westmount, at Elite and Global in the West Island. And we have 19 beautiful properties to show you today. Most will be on open houses Sunday between 2 and 4, but you're best to check the day and time, Mike. There's 616 across the Greater Montreal. We're going to show you 19. And I'm with my friend and business development director, Mike Francois. Mike.
Yeah, so we got a lot to cover today. Not only do we have 19 open houses from our Mellor Group brokers, but we also will be going through have a bit of fun with what's been coming a lot lately, especially in households. How to live comfortably.
How much does it really cost is what we're going to talk about. How much does it really cost to live in Montreal? It's a topic that came about because one of my sons is moving out soon, and so we had to do the exercise. I wanted to sit down with him, Mike, over a supper and go over, well, what is it that you're going to pay rent-wise, roughly, for groceries, all of the stuff that comes with being independent. And we fell on this website called Numbeo, I think it's called.
So Numbeo is not sponsoring us, by the way, but I actually went through it. It's actually a crowdsource has over 9.4 million different items.
Okay, so you Googled it. You checked it out deep.
Well, of course I checked it out. I wanted to know what it was about.
Okay.
And basically, it gives us an idea of 12,000 different cities, giving you an idea of what the cost of living is.
So Jay took out some of these numbers for if you live by yourself, if you're a couple, or if you're a family of 4. We're going to look at that stuff. And I think the numbers are quite wacky personally, but it's always fun. It's a great conversational piece, Mike. We're going to look at that.
But let's not forget that the average first-time buyer homeowner is about 36 years old in Montreal. So teenagers can be anywhere between 36 or 36 years old.
Yes, nowadays teenagers, we call teenagers up to 36. No. It's I think what we usually do is we rent out first, which is the case for my son, and then maybe we buy around 36. That's probably where you get that number.
Probably.
All right, so let's jump into our first open houses of the week. There they are. We've got a 19, as I was saying, out of 616. Now, obviously, if you see, you don't see a neighborhood of your choice, one of these properties, we can send you a list of open houses in the neighborhood that you're looking in, right, Mike?
Exactly. So we'll start with Lily Lee, that has four open houses actually this weekend. Pretty interesting. Lily Lee's been really, really busy lately. We realize that the market is picking up. Listen, if you're in the business, maybe you're looking for an investment, maybe you're trying to move out, maybe you need somebody to give you some information with real estate, it's the time to get in touch with us. It's the time for us to be able to guide you in the right direction.
So now let's look at if you're single, you're living solo in Montreal, and you want it to be comfortable. What does the platform say, Mike?
So for housing, renting a one-bedroom apartment, it averages between $1,500 to $1,700 a month, depending on the location. If you're looking to buy entry-level condos for one person, it'll run you anywhere between $350 to $450.
I think I agree with those numbers. It could be an idea. Let's look at utilities. The website Numbeo was saying about 110, which maybe a slightly high number. Internet 60, that's too low. Groceries 575. I don't know. I think my bill is probably 500 per person.
Depends what you eat. If you're eating filet mignon
per week.
You're eating filet mignon.
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know. Tell us in the comments what you think. How much are you guys spending on grocery bills per week or per month, so we can have a better idea if this website's accurate or not. Transportation, well, the Opus Pass, if we just take that, it is $100, so that's accurate. And then you add all the miscellaneous.
Well, how accurate is that? Because if you have a car and you're moving it around and you got to pay for parking.
No, we're not talking about cars.
I'm just asking. I'm just saying.
Someone that doesn't have a car needs to travel, and then they have to get to work. Opus card, there you go. If you add the car, if you have a car, it's a no-brainer. Yeah. Let's look at non-housing costs.
So we're looking at $1,145 per month. So that's if you're renting. And you're looking at a total between $2,700 to $2,850 per month. So to live comfortably, so you got to bring in at least $60K a year or more.
And so that's comfortable, apparently, when we put it in the website. And it's, I think...
I wonder what uncomfortable is.
Tune in next week. We're going to do uncomfortable living in Montreal. What does it look like? Let's jump back into our open houses. We've got plenty more to show you, and we've got one that you see almost every week. This is a big project, beautiful project, high quality. We've got Serge and Manon team, another one. They've got plenty. Every week we see a bunch.
Yeah.
They're everywhere in the Greater Montreal area. Congratulations, guys. Now let's look at if you're a couple, Mike. You live in Montreal. You want to live, what's the word? Very comfortably.
Right. So renting 1 or 2 or more bedrooms for people ranges between $1,600 to $2,200 a month. Now, if you're buying together, you're likely looking at a condo or a starter home between $500,000 and $650,000 range.
And then what it says is that utilities would be around $120, internet again $60. That's too low. And then groceries $1,200 for 2. I still think that's low, but I guess it depends on what you're eating. Transportation $200, 2 passes, and dining out. I still think these numbers are too low. I don't think this is realistic. Especially
I wonder if they added Netflix in there.
Oh yeah, you need that Netflix. Who doesn't have Netflix Prime? And then maybe even Disney Plus if you've got kids. We're gonna get to
Amazon
the kids.
Prime.
We're gonna get to the family of 4 and see how that.
All right. So when renting or mortgage, you're sitting at about $3,800 to $4,200 a month for a comfortable monthly budget.
I think that's low. I think that's really low. And then it says that your income would have to be
$90,000 to $100,000.
Again, add the taxes in there, you're left with $25,000. I don't know how you're gonna make it. Remember, there's a voting station near you soon at the end of the month.
Make sure you make the right choice.
Let's look at more properties before we head out and go see some other properties. Beautiful stuff again, Mike. Right? Tell us about what you're seeing on the screen.
Well, yeah. So we got Véronique Lehanaf right here at 2.2 million. We've got Isabelle Stern that's been extremely busy lately. We have Carly Friedman, never disappoints, and of course Mona Seidel.
Okay, now let's look at a family of 2 kids. You're 4.
So
what does it look like?
So basically, you're looking at laundry, gas, all that other stuff that comes with it.
There's a lot of driving around. That's right.
Hopefully, having this conversation will help you as well. I fell upon these numbers, to give you kind of like a good idea of what it would be like. But I think it ranges. It depends on the person. Depends on the situation of what you can consider to be expensive or non-expensive.
Yeah, I think tonight is going to be an interesting conversation. You're going to have with your kids, with your teenagers.
So we're looking at. I don't have teenagers, but okay. Anyways, $2,000 to $2,800 a month if you're buying, but expect between $700,000 to $1 million. For a detached home, depending on what area you're in.
Thank you, Mike. I'm not going to go through the utilities and all of that stuff. I think you get the point. You can do your own calculation. I think this website, Numbeo, it's called. It gives you an idea, but I think it's wacky. It's out of. It gives you a ballpark. You got to do the finesse, the tweaks. Let's look at the last few open houses if we have any left. If we don't, then what we'll do, Mike, is we'll say to everybody, go to our website, go to roylepage.ca for all of the Royal Lepage website. Go to mellorgroup.ca if you want to see what we have on the market, which is exceptionally beautiful stuff. And with that, Mike, I wish you all a very nice weekend. We'll see you next week.
Enjoy the weekend, everybody.